Does manifesting work? Is the law of attraction real? Does it really work? Really? I'll tell you a success story that will convince you of it. But then stay tuned, because there's more to it than just a success story. The secret behind the secret. You know the stuff. Okay, first of all, the success story. I had 4 different trips in 2 months. It was really cool. I love playing tennis. I love tennis. And I'd never been to Paris. And I saw this thing that you could sign up for, and I was like, oh, that'd be so much fun. And I wanted. I went there. I stayed in a beautiful hotel. My French is terrible. Jardin des Tuileries? No sé. I have no idea how to pronounce it. But I stayed in a really nice place. All paid for. And then I came home. I had enough time to breathe. And I was on the next trip. This time I flew to Brazil. And I flew all expenses paid. My wife and I, hotel, flight, food, and so much entertainment there. Oh, it was all inclusive. It was beautiful. And then I came back. I had like a week. We chilled. We went to the river and we had fun. And then we went to, where was the next one? Barcelona. We went to Barcelona, which was so much fun. Beautiful city, by the way. All expenses paid, hotel, everything. Then I came back and we went to Paris again, an entire week. Oh, that was so much fun. It all happened in 2 months. It was amazing. And this is how it happened. I saw there was a trip up for Brazil. And I'd never been to Brazil. And I said, it would be so cool. And I imagined myself walking on the Copacabana beach, and I felt the sand between my toes. I felt the air in my face, and I was sipping on one of those coconuts. And a week later, I was in Brazil on that beach, that very same beach. The sand between my toes, and I was sipping on a coconut. You know, this with the straw thing in it. And before I went to Paris, I saw myself walking on the river, on the Seine, on the river bank. I was walking. Not on the river, like not Jesus, not yet. I saw myself walking there and just reminiscing how, oh, Paris is so beautiful. And I walked there with my wife. And I told her, look at how beautiful this place is. A week later, we were walking on the river bank on the Seine. And I told my wife, look. And I remember where was it? I won a thing for Barcelona, I had to throw a thingy, like a little airplane. And in order to win the trip, it was at a tennis tournament. And I love tennis. And you had to throw this thing into a circle. It was really hard to do. It looked a lot easier than it was. And I had 2 of those aeroplanes left. And I was shooting the second to last. And someone hit me on the, it was as a crowd. And it went nowhere. And I was like, God, that sucks. And I was like, okay. And I closed my eyes. And I just celebrated. And I threw it. And it was as if the entire crowd disappeared. And I could just throw my shot. Because in the beginning it was hard, and all the other attempts, like people there and this and elbows, because everyone wanted to win. But it felt free, and I was throwing it. It was effortless. And it landed on the floor and it glid right into the center of the circle. And that feeling of winning, I was celebrating. I won. And my wife was out there like looking at the crowd, and she was like, that's so lovely, someone won there, how good for them. Not knowing it was me, not knowing it was us that was gonna go on this trip. Oh, that was so nice. And all these trips happened that way. I won 4 trips and then won a 5th one, all in 2 months. And I always felt what it felt like. I felt the sand between my toes. I felt myself walking in Paris. I celebrated the victory before I took the shot. It's beautiful. Now, how likely do you think? And then your mind starts again. How likely do you think? Maybe it was just all luck. I know it wasn't luck. I know I manifested this. But then, weirdly enough, I stopped doing this thing. I just stopped participating. I played for 2 months, and in those 2 months, I won everything. It was so much fun. Then I stopped. You know what? I should do it again, because I would love to go to Japan and to anywhere else. South America. It was beautiful. And I might do this again. But most importantly, what I learned along the journey is it's not the manifestation. These days, everyone with a camera, and everyone's read a book, like read Neville Goddard, I read The Secret, and then they turn on the camera and they tell you how to manifest the dream life. This is how it's done. But this is not how it works. What I realized is you have to know who you are first. You have to know who you are. Because if you don't know who you are, you will chase one manifestation and the next manifestation and the next manifestation. It doesn't get you anywhere. It's like there's a void in you that you can't fill. It's just the mind, just like the hustle culture is a product of the mind. So the whole manifestation thing, like a lot of people practice, it's just a neurotic mind always trying to chase the next thing. And because deep down they don't know who they are, why they're alive, and what really matters. Never really appreciating that who you are is beautiful and where you are. That manifestation becomes something to escape from where you are, to manifest your dream life. Why? Is your life now not good enough? And let me tell you, if you're not happy now, you will not be happy in Paris or on the beach in Brazil. If you're not satisfied and in love with who you are, nothing that the world could offer you will ever be enough. It will always be the next thing. The greatest manifestation is to realize who you are. And the rest, just let it flow from there. So that's my manifestation story. So is the law of attraction real? Yes, it is. Can you manifest stuff? Yeah. You can. You can. But first, know who you are. Because that is the basis for everything. Who is the guy that wants to manifest? Who is the guy that has those desires? Why do you want that? Who are you? How? Why did you show up here on planet Earth? And if you know that, yeah, let's manifest some shit. And I know you will forget. I know you will forget who you are, and maybe you will click the next, oh, manifest this and manifest that. Get your reminder. I read a daily message from my soul to yours, Monday to Friday in your inbox. It's beautiful. I sound like Donald Trump. It's beautiful. It's a reminder of who you are and what life is really about. And yeah, that you can manifest. But first know who you are. Get your reminder. Wake up with a reminder, with an alarm clock from the universe, waking you up and saying, hey, welcome to planet Earth. This is why you're here.